Tonight's show brought to you by Swing Juice. Visit swingjuice.com. Use promo code Beehive20 for 20% off your golf and MLB PA apparel. Tonight's show, we're going to go through, we have an announcement, listener nickname poll. We're going to announce the 4 finalists that we're going to post on Facebook for a poll and to decide the nickname that we give to listeners of the show. Also, going to review last week's playoff games were, in a sense, a 3-bagger, except for we picked every game. Went real well.
Yeah.
Real well.
Hot start.
So we're going to give you some wonderful picks again for divisional round weekend. Then we're going to bounce right to the things that sting. Just like last week, because of the fan rant, we're skipping sports history, skipping Sketty on. Going to go into things that sting, where we have 4 news stories to discuss and then 5 more in the rundown, just brief headlines we'll throw at you. And then when we get to My Hive, the fan rant, we have, let's see, I think we're full tonight, but we'll see. So we have, obviously, Sketty and myself. Miles coming on for the Bengals, as he has since day one. We have Glenn Dickerson's going to come on and represent the Chiefs. He'd be first time on here. He reached out to us today, so hopefully he gets everything figured out and can hop on. James Blizzard, who was supposed to help or do the Jags last week, couldn't make it because of a family deal he had. And my boy from college, Eric Delp, he's going to try and come on and do the Eagles. However, he's like in Canada ice fishing. So he's at like a lodge. Okay. He doesn't know what the connection is going to be like, but he's going to give it a shot. And then Joe Yulo coming on to do the Cowboys. Andy will be back with the Giants. Fan rant, divisional round. Let's go.
Welcome to the Beehive Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Joe and Sketty.
The Buzz is brought to you by Busch Light. Head for the mountains or wherever you purchase your adult beverages and grab yourself some ice cold Busch Light. Remember to please drink responsibly. And Napoli Pizza, yet again the winner of the best pizza in Warren County weekly specials. Pickup or delivery available, located in North Warren. Reminder to those watching live, if you don't catch the entire show, want to listen back later, the videos are embedded, but you can also listen to the audio only wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, any of those outlets and more. You can find us and listen to just the audio. 4 episodes left, season 2, winding down.
Slowly but surely.
So, the big thing that we have going on that we're going to post tomorrow is I don't remember when that was, last 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago.
Something like that, yeah.
We posted on the Facebook page we needed ideas for nicknames for our listeners. So we narrowed it down to 4 there was a bunch of them on there, but Sketty and I picked 4 that we liked. And we're going to allow you guys to decide. So it's going to be posted tomorrow, whenever I remember after I wake up. We're going to post a poll on the Facebook page. So the 4 finalists are the Pollinators, the Colony, the Swarm, and Drones. So those are the 4 you'll have to choose from. Listener nickname. Then we can get some merch. Some shirts made up with that on it. I think that'd be a good idea. So some shit like that. Just something we're doing just for the hell of it. So make sure you get on there tomorrow. Watch for the poll. Vote for your favorite. I don't know how to do a Facebook poll. I mean, we just messed with it a little bit before we got on live here, but I'm assuming you can like put a timer on it, right?
I would think so. Yeah. I mean, we need a tech guy.
Yeah,
we need for the second straight year. We need a tech guy. Yeah.
So we're gonna figure that out. But we'll do like 24 hours or something like that
Yep.
to vote, and then whoever, whichever one wins, then that'll be the listener nickname going forward. All right, so we're jumping right into it. The games from last week, and I actually deleted all of the banners from last week now that I look. But we'll just go by them one by one. Seattle at San Francisco, the first game. It was -9.5. Sketty and I both took Seattle. I'll just give you these numbers right now. Sketty 1-5, me 2-4. Rough.
Yeah, not good. Yeah,
rough start.
So Seattle was in that game though. I mean, up until midway through the third quarter,
yeah,
I thought I was telling you Seahawks money line. Until San Francisco forces a fumble down there in the red zone, and then they just kind of ran away with the game, and they have a tendency to do that. But yeah, that was I thought our bet was good, Joe.
Which bet did we make?
On Seahawks. I thought. Well, I'm saying our.
Oh pick. Yeah. I was feeling good about it too, especially at halftime. I was like, all right, they should. Yep. They're kind of, they're clawing back and forth. I figured they would at least cover a 9.5 at that point, but shit happens. I mean, that's how the betting world goes. So
life comes at you fast. Speaking of which, good segue to the next game.
Chargers Jags.
Yeah, life comes at you fast.
Yes, it does. So a 27-0 lead. This one, I had the Chargers. Sketty had the Jags, so he got a win here. His only win.
Only win. God bless Trevor.
Only win of the weekend. 27-0. I was feeling pretty good about -2.5. Lawrence couldn't throw it to anybody but Asante Samuel Jr.
Correct. Yeah.
I was thinking, we're okay here. Like, this is going kind of exactly how I thought it might. Maybe not to that extreme. Like, I didn't see Lawrence coming out and
no.
And I saw somebody, like, I can't even remember who, post on Facebook. They were like, "Oh, spotlight's too big for Trevor Lawrence." I was like, "Yeah, he played in a national championship."
Yeah, right. Still undefeated on Saturdays.
Yeah,
still undefeated on Saturdays.
I was like, I don't think the spotlight was too big for him.
It did look like he had a little bit of jitters early. I mean, he just didn't look.
He played like shit.
He looked unfortunate. Yeah, but hey, guy rebounded. Brandon Staley did Brandon Staley things and couldn't get his team to score. You only got to score 5 points. That's it. 2 field goals would have done it for you, and they couldn't get it done. I don't know how the guy still has a job. Quite frankly, I have no idea. Fired the offensive coordinator, but not him. Doesn't make any sense.
Oh, yeah, the scapegoat. I mean, that just happened with Baltimore today, too. They fired Greg Roman as if he was the problem. I mean, you can't blame Greg Roman and then say we lost because Lamar wasn't in at the same time. Right? Yeah,
you can't. Yeah, it's
both of those. Like, you're either
exactly.
Lamar was the reason. If we would have had Lamar, we win that game. Or you say our offense was bad all the time because of Greg Roman.
Yep. Yeah, which it wasn't. With Lamar, they did a nice job. That's, like I said, scapegoat.
So heading into Sunday, we had the Bills -13.5. Both of us took that, and within the first
not so good.
Within the first quarter of the game, seemed like it was going to be just fine.
I think I told you. I went upstairs to take a shower after work, and it was 0-0 at this point. I think it was on the Diggs first down catch on the out, and I, taking a dump before my shower, playing on Facebook, and all of a sudden I see people proclaiming the Bills Super Bowl champs. They're going to win this might as well not even play the playoffs. I was thinking, what the hell happened? What the hell happened?
Who
14-0.
That was Ramage, and he also came back and later said, "I think I jinxed them," which I was like, and I did comment on that. I was like, "Yeah, thanks." Sloppy game by the offense. I mean, really, what it comes down to. People want to blame the defense, and they're like, "You almost lost to a third stringer," but like I told you, the Dolphins had one drive over 40 yards. They were put in a short field how many times? A kick return or a punt return that got them a short field. Interceptions that got them short. No, there was a punt return too that got them.
Was there a good punt return too?
Yeah, there's plenty of reason why, and I blame the offense in that game, not the defense, even though that's what everybody wants to quick go to. Disagree. They didn't play bad. They were on the field a lot, and they were put in a short field scenario the majority of the game. So your back's to the wall as soon as you get out there. It doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room Just got to clean it up. But like I said, I had a theory on that game after the fact, after watching it, and I haven't seen Allen throw that many deep balls in one game, and since probably his rookie year when he was just trying to throw it out of the stadium every time he dropped back. To me, it looked like they wanted to go for the kill early and get people out of that game. That's kind of what I feel like happened. And it just so happened that they ended up turning the ball over. The blitzes were dialed up. Well, if you look at the first half stats against the blitz versus second half stats, totally different. But Josh Allen typically does well against the blitz, which a lot of people. I saw somebody on a Bills page that I follow. They were like, "Well, the Dolphins just laid a blueprint. All you got to do is blitz Allen." And I'm like, is this your first time watching them?
It's blitzing. There's very few quarterbacks that blitzing is like the smart. Like Cam Newton is one that if you blitz him and he gets pressured, he can't do anything. Or I remember that Super Bowl. But a good quarterback like Josh Allen, not only if you blitz, if he steps out and gets around the end, the guy can run for 35 yards. Or you have less guys in coverage, he's going to find somebody open. Like you rush for it, Josh Allen, and say, "Okay, you just go ahead and beat us. We'll give you the time."
Yeah.
I don't.
It was odd take, I thought, but
yeah, I agree.
All right. So moving on. So we both lost that one.
Yep.
Then we go Giants Vikings. So we're into what day? Oh, this is 4 p.m. Sunday. Okay, Sunday. That's where we're at now. Yeah. Giants Vikings. I slept through this game.
You did? Yep. I was texting you and you were
not writing
dead
back.
To the world. Yeah, dead to the world.
Early beer drinking and stressful Bills game results in a nap.
Get you every time. Yep.
Most Sundays, actually. I mean, I think me and you went through this on several Sundays where you're texting me and I'm like, just woke up.
Yep.
What'd I miss? Vikings -3. You had them. I took the Giants in this one. Giants ended up winning outright. So, moving on. Sad that we don't get all Cord's buddies back in the comments this week.
I know.
It's like the only reason I was wanting them to win.
You were asleep, but maybe if whoever the hell the coordinator in Minnesota is doesn't say, "Hey, Kirk, throw this short of the first down on a fourth down where we need to advance the season." Like, I'll just throw this little 5-yard out. And
I saw the highlight later. I'm not sure what the thought process was there. There really shouldn't even be anybody running that route in that
correct
scenario.
Exactly. Like I don't get it. I get the safety valve if you think he's going to be wide open, but not smart.
So by the time I woke up Sunday during my nap, it was like 10-9 Ravens beating the Bengals, and I was really confused. Like lots of crazy shit happening today apparently. And of course, and that's what I think I immediately texted you and was like, no way that the Ravens actually win this game though, right? And much to what we thought. The Bengals on a scoop and score, which J.K. Dobbins comes out bitching about the play call. Agree with him. Stupid play call. Very stupid play call. Reaching over the line is always a gamble.
Not smart.
And I don't love that play at all. Allen ran one of those earlier in the year on a 2-point conversion, and it gets swatted. But upon review, he did break the plane. But it's still like, why even? I don't.
Unless you're right on the goal line,
right.
And they weren't, which they weren't. You're reaching a long yard there. I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, if you watch Huntley's reaction, he's like, "It's good. I broke the plane." He wasn't even close.
Yep. And I think we saw 3 different times this weekend on these 4th and 1 plays where teams now are wisely faking up the middle. You pitch it to the outside, you pull the Dallas and run the quarterback around the end. Like teams know that everyone's getting away with this push everyone from behind play. So it makes me hate the reach over the top even more.
Right.
Teams are playing that.
Better options.
Yep.
So we both had the Bengals thinking that would be an ass whooping. We had the Bengals -8.5. Both took a loss there.
Yep.
So that takes us to the final game Monday night. Cowboys -2.5 at the Bucks. Wasn't at any point really a game.
No,
the only thing that kept it entertaining was Mayer kept missing extra points.
Whew, man. I should save this for the fan rant, but I want to make sure I get it out now. Have you seen the videos of Dak slamming his helmet on the bench and stuff because they're not going for two and they're keep kicking it, can't make the extra point. You saw that?
Yeah.
Did you see the guy? Did you see the guy who said, what's his name? Brent Mayer, the kicker?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. He said, did that guy slam his helmet on the bench all season long while Dak was throwing fucking 15 picks in 12 games or what?
He might have.
I hope
Nobody
so.
pays attention to kickers, so you never know until they're kicking.
Tampa Bay was bad.
He missed 3 extra points all year.
Yeah, no, he's a really good kicker. That was goofy.
He just got the yips.
Well, after the first 2 were the same miss, you could tell
then
the third one he just overcompensated. Yeah, I mean, it just reminded me of golfer out there. You got something wrong in the swing, and then you're trying to fix it, and now you're thinking it's not a recipe for success.
Correct. Yeah, it was. But it was it kept it entertaining because it was like it should have been 28-0, and instead it's a 3-score game, and you're still staring down Tom Brady, who you never know. At any point could come back from any deficit, it seems. So,
God,
kept
they
the game entertaining. I got to win.
Yeah, you did.
I got to win there.
Tampa Bay just looked so freaking awful. I mean, even Brady's interception early.
And they fire their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Byron Leftwich, who was a head coaching candidate like 2 years or a year ago.
Yeah. And what was his fault? You couldn't defend him. You got no pressure on Dak after the first series.
They have no running game. They have no protection for Brady. But that equates to Byron.
And actually, even the end, Tampa Bay was trying to crawl back into it, and Mike Evans drops a wide open touchdown. Get the onside kick, first play, you take a shot.
Oh yeah,
Brady's got him, and he just drops it. It was hard to watch. I mean, Tampa Bay is probably the worst team to get it. I think Miami could have beat Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay was the worst team in the playoffs.
I would agree.
Yeah, they're bad.
All right, so let's go into this week's game. We're starting off Saturday, 4 p.m., 4:30, whatever it is. Jags at Chiefs -8.5. We're both on the same page here. I'll let you go first. We both took Jacksonville with the points.
Yeah, just quite honestly, Trevor Lawrence is undefeated on Saturdays. Don't mean he's going to be undefeated by the end of this week, but I think 8.5 points is just a ton of points. The Chiefs have not looked super sharp this season. I think Jacksonville can do enough that this is, maybe a touchdown game, if not closer. And I mean, honestly, I think we discussed this. I think there's even a scenario where Jacksonville gets one more win. I think they can go into Kansas City, ride that momentum, and make things really interesting. If not,
the Chiefs have just been so close to losing so many games in a row. It seems like it's bound to happen. Now, I think part of that is me just hoping they lose. So I'm trying to keep my heart out of it as much as I possibly can, but I just think it'll be close.
If Trevor Lawrence from the second half of last week's game plays the whole game here, then yes, that game's, the Jags have a chance to win and they're going to cover the 8.5.
Yeah, they're going to have
Trevor
to
Lawrence from the first half plays. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence from the first half shows up. You're not going down 27-0 to the Chiefs and coming back and winning. That's just.
I do have banners for these ones. So let's move on to the next one. Giants at Eagles -7.5. We took the points again, so we're going Giants +7.5. For me on this one, it's playoff divisional game. I know the Eagles are rested and everything. What grade of shape is Hurts in right now is still a question to me. Whether or not he's, his shoulder is better or still just, he's dealing with it, pain management, whatever. But the Giants just looked really good last week. And I think that they got some momentum. They likely, I don't think, win this game, but I like them with 7.5, especially the half a point. You throw that in there. I could see it being like a 27-20 game. Yeah. Something like that where the hook's your beneficiary here.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, and for basically all the reasons you just said, we don't know what Eagles team we're going to see. They were not very good the last 3 weeks of the season when Hurts didn't play. I mean, I guess Hurts did play the last game. I think it ended up about a touchdown game. We just don't know what we're going to get with him. And the Giants are hot. Now, granted, you're not playing Minnesota this week. You're not playing that defense this week. Things are going to be a little bit tougher. But, I think the Giants can hang in there. puncher's chance to win this game. I don't think this is a lock by any means. But yeah, I just think the points are too much. Expect an Eagles win, but I think the Giants are going to cover easily.
Bengals Bills. So we're on to 3 p.m. on Sunday. And again, which you'll see the trend here by the time we're done with the next game. Both taking the Bengals plus 4.5. Obviously, yep. I hope that isn't the case. But if I'm putting money on this game, smart money, not what I probably will bet on this game. So let's clear that up right now. Not what I'm going to bet, but what I should bet would be the Bengals plus 4.5.
I think it's plus 5.5 now.
Really?
I think it's 5. I thought you told me that this morning.
No,
but I know I'm pretty sure it's plus 5.5 now.
Well, let me look.
I know it was on DraftKings. But which honestly, I think I told you straight up to win this game.
Yeah, it is 5.5 now.
Yeah. So, and that's, straight up to win this game. I think the Bills are going to win this game just because again, I think Cincinnati's offensive line troubles, especially losing Jonah Williams this week, now you're down 3 starters. I just think that's going to be too much to overcome for them. But 5.5 points, the Bills didn't look great last week. The Bengals didn't look great last week. Like at 5.5, it seems like a no-brainer. If you're going to throw money on this, I'm taking the Bengals. Just odds,
Yep. Or even a teaser situation where you move it to like plus 10.5, then I'd feel real good about it. If you could do those sorts of bets. But all right, Cowboys 49ers minus 3.5. As I said, you'll notice the trend. We took the points on every game, and that was me doing it separately, and then Sketty sending me his. They just happen. We don't discuss them as a team before we talk about them on here. But yeah, it's now at 3.5, still at 3.5.
Yeah, I think it was at 4 it opened up at, I believe. It might have been back to 4 today. I can't remember.
It's still at 3.5 right now. I have it up right now.
I got 4 on DraftKings right now.
DraftKings sucks.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
But I guess if you want to take the Cowboys in this game, you can get an extra half point.
There you go. Yep, there you go.
So both of us again took the 3.5. I still think Sketty's only doing it just so it's his feel good streak that he has going when betting against the Niners, where it makes him feel good talking about it. But I truly think those points are good, or I don't hate the plus 172 money line Cowboys.
Man, a lot of I mean, speaking to someone who I'm not going to give you the fan rant take, I'm going to give you the unbiased fan take.
Okay.
Level-headed fan take. The Niners, hands down on paper, are the better team. They're better at every position. Undeniable fact. However, Brock Purdy is a rookie. Brock Purdy hasn't played anyone but a bad defense, which I don't think the Cowboys are a great defense, but the Cowboys are a good defense. I think it's unquestionable this is going to be the best defense he's faced. The Niners have been starting slow. I really think, this is the scenario that happens. I think Dallas can go out. They can jump up to a 14-0 lead. You hopefully, for Cowboys fans, hopefully you get a pick off Purdy early, shakes his confidence. And then you just hope that with a 14-point lead at half or more, you can hold on by your seat and withstand the storm that comes every second half of these Niners games where they come at you hard. The defense isn't letting points up. The offense is going lights out second half. I think with a 14-point lead, though, Dallas is good enough to sit on that lead and pull it out in a close game. I just
want to say something about Sherm's comment here. Something funny about the Cowboys only getting 3.5. I wonder if Purdy is exposed this week. Something I've noticed about the Cowboys this whole season is that Vegas still kind of loves them and puts them as close to being a favorite as possible. They were road favorites in some games that a lot of people thought they had no business being a road favorite in. One, for example, the Vikings game. In Minnesota, they were favorites in that game, and they did end up not only covering, but
you called that game coming off the emotional win against the Bills.
Yeah, the Vikings were exhausted for sure. But I don't know. Vegas, you can kind of get a sense for who they believe in, if you pay attention to the lines all season long. There was like a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe, that the Jets, like they had the Jets like really in close lined games most of the season, and they got blown out most of the time. But every week they'd come back with a similar line as the one before. It's just, they get in weird trends. I don't know. Odds makers I'd like to meet an odds maker and like pick his brain. Like figure out what the fuck are they
be real. I mean, Dallas has had some great performances this year. They really have. So I get it, saying that, hey, even if the Niners are the better team, this Dallas team can, they're still going to go out there and hang in this game. But they've also had some dog shit performances, and I think that's the Cowboys scare me. I don't even like betting anywhere near the Cowboys because you don't know what you're going to get. Are you getting 15 picked out or Dak Prescott, or are you getting 300-yard, 5-touchdown Dak Prescott? You don't know from week to week.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we take our first break here?
No, I think we're good.
All right. The Buzz is brought to you by Busch Light. Head for the mountains or wherever you purchase your adult beverages and grab yourself some ice cold Busch Light. Remember to please drink responsibly. And Napoli Pizza, yet again, the winner of the best pizza in Warren County. Weekly specials, pickup or delivery available. We're going to take a couple-minute break here with some ads from our sponsors, and we'll be back with the things that sting.
Whenever you crack open a Busch Light, the mountain starts singing.
It's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you.
What is going on?
Hit it, Giant Kenny G.
It's so smooth.
Head for the mountains of Busch Light beer.
Hungry? Watching the game? Order some Napoli's Pizza, voted the best pizza in the Times Observer Reader's Choice every year. Homemade, hand-tossed, delicious hot pizza, stromboli, salads, subs, and so much more. Located in North Warren, come on in or call 814-723-7455 and ask about our specials. Pickup or delivery available 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Again, that's 814-723-7455.
Hi, this is Brian Hagberg, and I wanted to take a moment and tell you about our new website, yourdailylocal.com. Your Daily Local is your new home for news, sports, and events in Warren County and beyond. Our goal is to cover the people, places, events, and happenings that matter to you in a variety of ways, including writing, video, and audio. And the best part? All of our content is available for free. Head to yourdailylocal.com to get the news you need when you need it.
Hey there, everyone. This is Phil with JP Photography. I know. A photography ad on a sports show? I get it. You're here for sports talk and listening to Joe and Sketty's insane rambling.
Wait, what?
But bear with me for a few. I just want to tell you that JP Photography not only offers wedding photography, but also does events, engagements, headshots, family photos, and even some product photography. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for JP Photography or go directly to our website at johnphilphotography.com. That's JONPHIL photography.com.
Jones Pest Control, your hometown pest control company servicing residential and commercial properties in Warren and surrounding areas since 2015. Sean and his crew will work tirelessly to keep your home or business free of insects to rodents and everything in between. Contact Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548 and set up an appointment today. And remember, ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control, 814-230-9548.
Checkout means sales and services with 2 locations on Warren's east side. Their garage at 800 Lexington Avenue not only services cars sold by Means, but has knowledgeable staff and modern state-of-the-art equipment waiting to serve their hometown of Warren. Whatever you need, including alignments, tires, brakes, yearly or enhanced PA inspections, oil changes, and much more. Make your appointment today at 814-723-7191, extension 2.
It's now time for the things that sting. The worst stories in sports, according to Joe.
This edition of the Things That Stings, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548. That's 814-230-9548. Things That Sting, 4 stories, 4 new ones anyways, and then we got 5 in the rundown. We're just going to do quick ones, headlines, and then we'll get into the fan rant. The email invites have been sent for the fan rant, so they're going to start piling into the bullpen here. So we're going to buzz through this and get to divisional round fan rant. So here we go. Things that sting. Darius Miles, Alabama basketball player, charged with capital murder. Police say provided the gun used in a fatal shooting. Miles, 21, a junior reserve forward from Washington, D.C., and Michael Lynn Davis, 20, of Charles County, Maryland, are charged with capital murder in the shooting death of Jamia Harris. She was 23 years old. The shooting occurred early Sunday morning on the Strip, a student-oriented business district of bars and restaurants near the Tuscaloosa campus, police said. Harris was sitting in the passenger seat of a car when she was struck by a bullet, investigators wrote in a court document. So that one's been like all over the news because that's pretty wild.
Yeah, nuts.
Obviously dismissed from the team, dismissed from the school. Like he's done for. So one to keep, we'll watch for future court dates, see how all that goes. Because he apparently made a statement to police saying that he did provide the gun. And now his lawyer is saying he doesn't remember making that statement. So classic, right? So we'll see, keep an eye on that one here in the future. Georgia Bulldog offensive lineman Devin Willock killed after being ejected from a motor vehicle. Also killed was recruiting staff member Chandler LaCroix. Speed and not wearing seatbelts were the cause of the crash and ultimately the ejections, which caused the deaths. The 20-year-old Willock, an offensive lineman for the Bulldogs, was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the vehicle, 24-year-old recruiting analyst Chandler LaCroix, died shortly after being taken to the hospital. It was a 2021 Ford Expedition and it, quote, failed to negotiate a left curve, resulting in the vehicle striking a curb with its front passenger tire and leaving the roadway on the west shoulder. The SUV struck a Georgia power pole and another utility pole, slicing the vehicle in half before striking a tree on the rear passenger quarter panel. That sent the vehicle spinning in a clockwise direction before it slammed into another tree on the driver's side where both LaCroix and Willock were sitting. So that's terrible, just weeks after winning another national championship. And that's, what they have to deal with. So that's just a horrible story. Jarrell Powell, former NFL player charged with kidnapping, police allege he kidnapped a man and forced him to withdraw money from the bank. University of Mississippi graduate and spent several seasons in the NFL. Police said a victim contacted police and told officers he was kidnapped against his will and was forced to withdraw money at the bank. So retirement's not treating him very well, apparently. Times are tough. Last one before we get into the rundown is Anton Walks. This one came out today. Charlotte FC MLS player dies at the age of 25 in a boat collision. So that was like this morning. There wasn't a whole lot of details on it, but just another bad one. I mean, a lot of deaths in the last 2 weeks. We had like a whole segment of them last
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's been rough.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into the rundown, and then we will move on to the fan rant. We got people piling in. I think we're only missing 2 so far.
2
maybe.
Cowboys fans, MIA. Shocker.
I have faith. All right. Why is this score not changing? I'm trying to keep an eye on a college basketball game on my phone right here, and the score just won't update. It just says TV timeout for like the last 10 minutes. Anyways. First, Mercyhurst Prep. Girls basketball defeats Titusville 59-6.
All right.
It's awesome. I love it. Shouldn't even be in this segment, actually. It should be in the buzz because it's good stuff. I like blowouts. I encourage it. Titusville, 6 points. Whoa, not great.
Get better. Yeah.
Get better. Number 2. I know this is going to surprise everybody, but Antonio Brown is back in the news. His Snapchat has been suspended because he posted an explicit photo of Chelsea Kyrus, the mother of Brown's children. Kyrus apologized to the media and said, "I apologize to, quote, any of your kids that follow him and used to look at him as a role model." Well said on her part. You know, I like the adult answer there because the dude's nuts. But, you know, he has the record for most things to Sting appearances. And I don't see it getting broken anytime soon. Somebody's really going to have to fuck up.
Deshaun Watson can catch it.
Deshaun
Watson can catch it.
Actually, they would be close, but that was like one story. This is like numerous different stories.
Most different reasons to be in things at stake.
Right.
He's got it locked up. Hall of Famer. We should induct him.
Here's a good one. Quan Proctor, a class of 2022 football recruit, played his high school ball at McIntosh County Academy in Darien, Georgia. Had scholarship offers from Liberty, East Carolina, Marshall, Middle Tennessee State, Toledo, and Western Kentucky. The other day, he tweets that he's entering the transfer portal, leaving Savannah State. Immediately after, Nick Trist, the quarterback coach at Savannah State, calls him out, saying he never attended Savannah State. So, how could you transfer from here if you never played here? However, what the headlines aren't telling you is Quan Proctor did respond to that, and he said, "Never did I say I attended Savannah State. I obviously committed and got my national letter of intent released before the season to go to a program that I never played a snap for." And then he called the coach a clown.
Okay.
So basically, if you don't play for a team, then you have no compliance department to sign off on your transfer paperwork. So it just doesn't make any sense for that to happen. He then came back again and said, "I played for a different team. Of course, I have been entered into the portal. However, there is no record of him playing college football anywhere." So it's like a one-man Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Bishop Sycamore. Sign him up.
It's a one-man Bishop Sycamore scenario. Number 4 story in the rundown. A Florida quarterback recruit, Jaden Rashada, requests a release from his national letter of intent after a $13 million NIL deal fell through. So yeah, those deals aren't ruining college football at all. Not even a little.
I can't remember who I saw talking about this week, but they were basically saying how like NFL players don't make $5 and $10 million endorsement deals, but these college kids are. If you think that it isn't the schools using that for recruiting, you're clueless.
Right.
You've got no idea.
And as the expansion of the playoffs grows, and as you saw in the national championship game this year, they're going to continue to look that way. So get used to it. It's going to be the same couple teams who have the ability to, pay out this type of money that they're going to get those deals and they're going to get those players. So, last but not least in the rundown, Robbie Knievel, son of Evil Knievel, dies at age 60 of pancreatic cancer. More death.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, Robbie Knievel. Yep. So everybody knows Evil Knievel. A lot of people know Robbie. He did a lot of the same things.
Yep. He did some stunts. Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. That's it. That's wrapping it up. So, anything you can think of that I missed, maybe?
Nope.
All right. So we have everybody in but Cowboys fans. So I'll shoot a message to him real quick and see where he's at. We're going to take a quick.
Man, we want the Niners.
Break.
Ask the Cowboys fans. We want the Niners.
Last anyways, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, so
you've got plenty of time.
Okay. So I'm going to go to our commercial. We'll come back, start into the fan rant. But in the meantime, I'm going to message him and see, where he's at. So this edition of The Things That Stings, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548. That's 814-230-9548. Going to take a quick break. We'll be back with My Hive and the NFL Fan Rant Divisional Round Edition. Blue Line Auto, located at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren, is locally owned and operated and is a family-run business specializing in vehicle sales and service. They offer state and safety inspections and general car repairs, including but not limited to brakes and rotors, tires, oil changes, batteries, starters, and alternators. They also offer vehicle undercoating prior to winter to help keep your vehicle protected. Currently, their hours are Monday through Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Thursday and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them today to schedule your next appointment at 814-230-9061. Your safety is their goal.
Hi, this is Ryan Klein, the host of the new pop culture podcast, Me, Myself, and Rye. You can find me on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and several other platforms. Special guests, breakaway shows, bonus episodes, cold beers, and a whole lot more. So what are you guys and gals waiting for? Subscribe now to the Me, Myself, and Rye podcast on Spotify or wherever it is that you get your shows and start listening today.
My High, Joe and Sketty's very own world of sports.
My Hive is presented by Blue Line Auto for all your automotive needs. Call Blue Line Auto at 814-230-9061 or stop in at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. All right. It looks like we have everybody, or did we lose someone?
We lost someone. Eagles guy.
Who did we lose? Eagles guy.
Eagles guy.
Oh, yeah, that's my buddy who's in Canada. He's probably got, well, Miles, they're probably sharing internet right now. That's my one jab at you tonight, Miles. We'll get you. You'll have your opportunity to get me back. All right, so let's get started. Jags.
We can bring them two at a time.
Two at a time today. We're not bringing everybody in at once. All right, roll call. James Blizzard here representing the Jags. James, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right, James is good. Glenn representing the Chiefs. Holy shit. He does have a little Chiefs cave there too. I like it. Well, I don't like it, but I like it. If that makes sense.
You respect it.
I respect it. All right. So, fellas, both of you first time on. Appreciate you coming. I don't know if you watched what this is about or how it goes, but basically we're going to give each of you a couple minutes to talk about why your team's going to win this weekend. And then you can argue with each other, call each other names, be nice. Some people do that. It's a weird approach. But go ahead. We'll start. So, Glenn, this is how we did it last week. So we're going to do it this way this week. Glenn, you're the home team. So you can defer and let James go first, or you can go first.
I'll defer.
All right, James, kick it off.
Damn. Jacksonville's been a really interesting team all year, to be honest. Like how they started versus how they finished. And I think they've done enough lately to prove that they can keep the games close, at least. But I really like their offense against the Chiefs' defense, to be honest, especially passing. And Etienne has proved he can run pretty well, too.
It's not bad.
To be honest, it depends on how they start, how Jacksonville offense starts to be particular, because you can't go down 27 points. The Chiefs. That's for damn sure. Taking care of the ball for both teams. Mahomes can be a little bit out there at times, but he's definitely proven to be the best quarterback in the league, which I have nothing against Mahomes. He's a great quarterback. And it depends on both defenses to me. So it honestly depends on the start, but I don't think Jacksonville's going to let themselves fall behind by 27 points. I
think they learned their lesson last week.
I most certainly fucking hope so.
Yeah. But here's the difference, and this is why, in my opinion, it's so important to not fall behind far. First of all, obviously the KC high-powered offense, but secondly, Brandon Staley Andy Reid is not Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley will allow you back into a game. Andy Reid's going to say, eat shit. We're going to put our foot on your throat and, get out of here as soon as we can. So
Andy Reid has forgot more about football than Brandon Staley will ever know in his life.
Right, correct. Yeah. All right, Glenn, rebuttal. What do you got?
Oh, well, you obviously know what Andy Reid's record is off the bye. I mean, his complete record's 28-6, and that record at home's 18-2. So right there, kind of. I mean, that's a pretty good track record. I know it's a small sample size, but every time that the Jaguars with Lawrence has played under 4 degrees, he's 0-4 or 0-3. I think it's been. I mean, who's gonna stop Kelsey on that team? I don't know. They're the worst team against the tight end. They're the 30th team against the pass, and the Chiefs are the first or best team against for the pass, obviously. I mean, I obviously can see this game being close, but if you look back to the first game, it ended up being 27-17. The Chiefs had 3 turnovers. The game started off with an onside kick, and the Chiefs missed 2 field goals, and we still won by 10 points, and the game was pretty out of hand when that last touchdown was scored. When it comes down to it, all I have to say is Patrick Mahomes. I won't ever, not trust him. I'm going to go into this game. Maybe they won't cover, and I'm not worried about that, but I don't think they lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, so earlier in the show, we pick every game against the spread, and we actually picked separately. This wasn't like something we worked on together. We both took all the dogs this weekend. Like everybody who's getting points, we took.
Did the wild card scare you?
Well, yeah, we were horrible last week.
We were bad.
I mean,
3 combined wins.
We were both over 500 for the season. We picked 3 games a week, and I went 31, 21, and 2. Sketty went 29 and 25. So we were, I was feeling pretty confident going in. I had a pretty good season, so I was feeling good. And then I went 2 and what was it?
You went 2-4, and I was 1-5.
I went 2-4 last week, so it wasn't great. But anything
the Jags
else
were my win, though.
The Jags were your win.
I mean, I honestly, a couple of weeks ago, put a bet on the Jags to win the Super Bowl. I thought they were the best odds at plus 5,000 compared to the Chargers at plus 2,000. I feel like that was a no-brainer. So, I mean,
throw a few bucks on them.
I mean,
so
they have a chance, but
so if they end up beating the Chiefs, you have a potential for a little cash in your pocket, at least, like a consolation prize.
Yeah, but that's all right.
All right, James, anything you want to add? Final thoughts?
I think it's going to be a good game, and I can't wait pretty much.
Well, it won't be long, man. We're just a couple days away.
I think it definitely has the potential to be some kind of upset, but it's a long shot, obviously, but I think it does.
All right, Glenn, final thoughts before we get you going here?
No, good luck. Hope for a good game.
All right, and just so you know, one of you two has to come back next week.
That is true.
Because we got to do championship round fan rant. You're paired up against somebody else. I'm hoping one of you two is going against me, and that the Bills can find a way to beat Cincinnati this weekend. But we'll see how that goes. All right,
that's
gentlemen.
what I'm hoping for.
Thank you.
You're hoping for that too?
Yes,
you don't
absolutely.
It's the Bills. You just hope the Jags are here. You don't care who you're talking to next week.
Right.
You just hope it's the Jags. Right on.
My best friend is a Bills fan, and we go to a lot of games and whatnot.
All right, cool. I like it.
To happen.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
All right, who we got next? Giants, Eagles.
Andy. Yeah, Giants, Eagles.
Giants and Eagles. So Delp put a private message in and said that his connection isn't great. So he's working with what he's got, but he's got to unmute himself.
Yeah.
So
there we
am
go.
I working?
You're working. Yeah, you're working. All right, Andy.
I'm up here. I'm in the middle of nowhere, so.
Yeah, your video is a little choppy, but as long as we can hear you, that's all that matters.
That's fine.
So, Delp, you are the home team this weekend. So, do you want to go first, or do you want to defer and let Andy give his rant first?
I would love to defer. I would love to hear it.
All right, Andy, let's go.
Yeah, we like to take the ball first. I was on last week. I kind of said the same thing. I'm going to keep the train rolling. The Giants were never supposed to be here. Here we go again. Divisional round games. So it's just going to be a slugfest. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The Giants and the Eagles hate each other. But this game, in my opinion, comes down to Daniel Jones. He was the third best quarterback rating in the wild card round. He was better than, God's gift to earth, Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. And he was actually the third leading rusher in the wild card round too, behind McCaffrey and I don't even know. I mean, he beat out Barkley rushing. So, Jones is going to come out and play. Dable's going to have him ready. We went into week 18 and took on a full squad of the Philadelphia Eagles with our bench and lost by less than a touchdown. So put the starters back in there. Our defensive front line's healthy. Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, and Thibodeau. Was the first time last week that all three of them played together the entire season. So they're coming after Hurts. Who knows? A couple maybe cheap shots at that shoulder, but we'll see what happens.
I wouldn't expect anything less out of Thibodeau, dirtbag.
It's better than Bosa, I think, right?
Oh my God,
they're both dirtbags, correct?
It's going to be a slugfest. The Giants got a chance. I think they're riding high. The Eagles, little lackluster week 18. They got a bye week. I'd rather keep playing than have that rest.
All right, Delp, let's hear what you got to say to that.
Yeah, well, the rest, man. Like, we needed the rest. Healthy Hurts is going to win us this game, and everyone knows that. Our last game, I'm not throwing stats or anything, but we obviously did not show our playbook. I watched every single game this season, and that was not even close to an offense that is run by a Philly offense. We just wanted to win the game just so we can get the bye, get Hurts healthy. Daniel Jones is playing well, and you can throw the stats about who he had, his rushing. Guaranteed. That's something that he always does. That's fine. I'll let him rush on us all day long, but we're going to shut down Saquon, and there's no receivers. Like, you guys have no receivers at all. We have one of the best defenses in the league. You guys whipped up on the Vikings defense. I'm actually in Minnesota right now with a bunch of Minnesotans. Their defense is terrible, and they'll admit it. Pretty much, it's right on the border of Canada, man. I can see Canada right across the lake right now.
Okay,
he can see Miles.
We're up there. So
tomorrow is in Canada.
Yeah, we're driving like 40 minutes out in the middle of nowhere to go fishing tomorrow. So, all these Minnesotans up here, they knew they were frauds, and I took the Giants. I'm like, the Giants are going to win it. Like, I knew that. They're a good team, but they're not going to beat the Eagles, and I think everybody knows that. Like, the team that we had before Hurts went down was unstoppable, and I think every Giants fan knows they were scared to play the Eagles, and now you got to play the Eagles, and it's like, oh, well, we did good last week. Hey, who's going to stop? A.J. Brown, Smith, Goddard. I mean, your defense can't do it. So we'll see what happens. But I know for a fact, I saw you guys took the Giants. We're going to blow them out. I think we're going to win by at least 17 points. So
17?
It was 17.
Will you give me some cash on that line? Can I get 16 and a half points?
Man, I'll throw $100 saying that Boston Scott's.
Oh, God, he got so excited. We lost him. You can't get angry with sensitive internet. When you have sensitive internet, you got to stay calm, or else shit hits the fan like that. And now we lost him.
He tunneled us. He said, "Oh yeah, drive through tunnel 17. You got that."
Wait, he's back.
That wasn't me.
Hey, no, man, dude, I'm up here in the middle of nowhere. It's tough, man.
You're back. All right, go for it.
$100 on Boston Scott's going to score a touchdown too. He has 10 touchdowns against the Giants. He's going to score number 11. If any of y'all want to bet $100 that Boston Scott's going to score a touchdown, I will shake right now and bet you $100.
Let me see what the odds are on that on FanDuel for an anytime touchdown.
He's got like 12 touchdowns career, and 10 of them were against the Giants. Come on, he's getting
maybe
He's the giant killer. They actually call him the giant killer. And all the teammates, Sanders, all those guys say he's the giant killer. So they know, hey, we're going to run Boston Scott against the Giants. That's inside betting right there. Touchdown. Guaranteed.
Insider betting. Operating a bucket shop. That's a crime in PA.
Maybe I should take that though, because we know my betting history. I
listen to Philly radio. I call Philly radio. I listen. I'm in with the Eagles, man. I'm not just like a fan, man. Like it's my team. So Boston Scott touchdown.
Andy, rebuttal.
No, I mean I'm a true fan of the Giants too. I mean, this is going to be a tough game. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's
division.
Not a game.
It's division.
It's divisional. It doesn't matter when we play. The first week of the season, the last week of the season. It's just, the Eagles are a tough team. I will admit it. I've said it on this show. You can go back and watch it. However many weeks ago, I said Eagles Chargers Super Bowl. That was my prediction. Obviously, I'm half right so far, but it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to come.
I mean, I'm proud of the NFC East. Instead of being NFC Least, NFC Beast. Right? We're all good, but we all know who's the capitalist of it right now. I mean, this year it's definitely the Eagles' year. We all know this. We watched all the games.
Boston Scott is a plus 390 anytime touchdown score.
Book it.
There you go.
I'm definitely going to. And then if he doesn't score, I'm going to put 100 on it, because if he doesn't score a touchdown, then you have to ship me $100, and I'm covered anyway. It's a free bet,
guaranteed.
Because if he wins, I'll give you that 100 back easy, because I'll have won 390. So that's a cake bet.
Every time you start talking about this, it glitches out. Like, that's a sign to me. That's not.
He gets excited every time he gets excited. So, all right.
Really in the middle of nowhere, man. I'm sorry.
Who did I just add in here? Now he's in here twice. All right. This is
Yingling, bro. You can't even buy this. You can't even buy this in Minnesota or anywhere around here. That's a Pennsylvania beer for the Eagles. I only take it out.
You can sell that up there.
You only take it out for special occasions.
100%. So I'm up here ice fishing. We got 2 cases up here, so I could drink some Yingling while I'm watching the Eagles whoop some giant ass.
All right, boys. One of you will be back next week.
Appreciate it.
I'll see you next week, Steady.
Andy, I hope it's us next week, buddy. I'm looking forward to it.
Delp will have good internet next week, so if he gets angry,
I will. I'll be back home. For sure.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Thank you, Delp. See you, Andy. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you
both.
Good
luck, man.
See ya.
All right. Am I next?
You and Jack Andy Dalton.
Me and Jack Andy Dalton. Yes, he's even wearing the dude. Okay, so I'm going to actually not defer, Miles. I'm going to go first.
We want the ball. We're going to score.
And you're going to hate me for doing this, all right? But I have to kill you with some kindness here. The only reason I feel confident about this game on Sunday is because both teams looked like complete shit last weekend. If the Bengals were rolling, I would not feel good about this coming Sunday. But however, they're at home. They got the crowd, on their side. But I fully anticipate that the Bengals get a standing ovation when they come out of that tunnel for the first time on Sunday. And like I told you when me and you were sidebarring, after the DeMar Hamlin thing, of course I want the Bills to win. When the ball touches the foot of opening kickoff, I'm going to hate the Bengals for the duration of that game. But as soon as it's over, I'm going to like them again. They drew in Bills fans. It's not even, you can literally go on Bills Twitter and read the same shit that I'm saying. I'm not the only one who feels this way. But yeah, during the game, I'm going to hate them. But after the fact,
and that's fair.
I'm not going to. Okay, so reasons why I think Buffalo is going to win mainly is the offensive line that is now completely dinged up for the Bengals. I think the way that McDermott rotates in fresh pass rushers on the regular, I think that they're going to have some success getting to Joe Burrow, and that's the key to beating him. He's not a great scrambler. He's not that, as mobile as an Allen or a Mahomes. He's not, I'm not saying he's Tom Brady. He's not like geriatric, can't fucking move kind of guy, but they get some pressure on him. If they can do that with a 4-man rush and having 7 back in coverage, they're going to have a lot of success. The Bengals will score some points. The best way to describe Buffalo's defense is a lot of people, will say they're overrated. Like Sketty says that all the time. They're not that good of a defense as their rankings. They're situationally good. And that's the best way to describe the Buffalo defense. When they need a stop, they get it. When they need a turnover, they get it. They will, and I think that they'll find ways to do that. And I really, truly think, because Cincinnati doesn't have a lot of success running the football, and I think they're going to have a big trouble protecting Burrow with the Bills' pass rush, just given the injuries, which couldn't have come at a worse time for Cincinnati. However, I will say Joe Burrow's been sacked a lot and had some success in the past. So there is that. There is that.
Yeah, let's not forget the 9 sacks against the Tennessee Titans that he took. Right?
Yeah. So go ahead there, Miles. Good to see you, by the way.
Likewise, man. I and you know what? I do kind of want to preface this by saying this upcoming game is exactly why I love the sport of football and everything that goes around it. Like I love these two fan bases. Something happened that was incredibly tragic, but also has become such a really feel-good story. I almost wish I'm about an hour and a half from Buffalo, and I almost wish I could go down to the game because I feel like I probably wouldn't be paying for a drink, wearing Bengals orange. So I agree. I think it's going to be all love, and I think regardless of who wins this game, the other fan base is going to be cheering for you guys, right?
For sure.
Whether it be us or whether it be you guys, let's do it. Let's go all the way. But that being said, I do got my case here. I think this is a fantastic game. I totally wish it was the AFC Championship game because I think it was deserved that. I heard an interesting fact just recently from a Buffalo guy that said that Monday night game that we played was actually the most combined wins of any Monday night game in history. So that, it was going to be a humdinger, right? It's going to, in my opinion, be an extremely close game, and it's going to come down to strengths and weaknesses. Now, these are two very similar teams. You're right. We do have a banged up offensive line. It's probably still marginally better than the offensive line we went to the Super Bowl with. We'll have to see. We're going to have to make adjustments. I think it's going to be a lot less. It's going to be a lot more 3-step drops, quick game than we want to have. But that's the way it's going to be, right? If you guys can get pressures on the corner, like around the edge, then we might have some problems. But we're still pretty steady on the inside, which is where you got that Ed Oliver and your D tackles, right?
Yep.
For me, what it's really going to come down to, and where I think the Bengals are going to shine, there's going to be about 1 or 2 plays that are going to change this game. And it's the same thing that we saw with the Ravens, right? With that 98-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown, the Hubbard yard run.
The Hubbard yard run, I like it.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to call it, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard that. That's funny.
That's what they're kind of, everybody's throwing their ideas of what we should call it. But I think it's going to come down to a glaring weakness that you guys have, 2 of them, which is your offense in the red zone and turnovers. Now, you can correct me, but I swear I heard that the Bills have about 9 turnovers in the past 3 or 4 games.
They cleaned it up a couple games in a row, but I'm not sure. That could be accurate. They definitely had a stretch of games where they did do that. Allen was just making poor choices and just like he did against Miami. It wasn't.
Did he? So he had a couple. Correct me if I'm wrong. He had a couple fumbles. He lost one and recovered another one. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what it's really going to come down to. For me is if we can win the turnover game, if we can cause some turnovers, which a guy like Trey Hendrickson can, that defensive line is awesome. Even a guy like BJ Hill, DJ Reader, incredible defensive line. We're very, very weak at corner. So you guys could be roasting us. So we're going to have to try and drop back and let our safeties try and do some of that work. That's where you guys are going to have an opportunity. But, if we win the turnover game, I think we got it.
Yeah, it's the issue with Buffalo turning the ball over like they did against Miami is a lot of just Allen forcing passes, deep balls specifically, which, like I said earlier in the show, he just wouldn't quit throwing the ball deep against Miami. Like I couldn't figure they had one drive where they ran the ball, I think 2-3 yard gain, 2nd and 7, 50-yard pass, 3rd and 7, 50-yard pass, and then they punted. And I was like, well, that was a productive drive that took about all of 42 seconds off of the game clock, and here we are punting. So with that said, I'm forgetting anything that happened in the regular season, because now, I mean, this is each week's week one as the playoffs go. And up until and I don't know what it dipped to, if it even dipped. I mean, he was at he still ended that game with like a 90 some passer rating, I believe. But up until that point, Josh Allen had, for however many games played, the minimum was the NFL record for highest passer rating in the playoffs. Big Game Gabe came up huge again last week. Cole Beasley's starting to find his wheels and do his thing. I think if they can, again, it will. I do agree it'll come down to turnovers. I think earlier in the year, and I kind of feel that this way about this game too. When the Dolphins and the Bills first met, I told Sketty, and I was right, which he was like making fun of me for the entire time. What was it? 5 stops, Sketty? Is that what I said about the Dolphins?
You said first to 5 stops.
First team to 5 stops, whether it be by turnover or punt. First team to 5 stops wins the game. When you have 2 high-powered offenses like this, that's kind of like my ballpark when I see these things. And I bet you if you ran the numbers on games similar to this and looked at who had the, who was the first team to get 5 stops, because neither team's going to let off the gas, I don't think. This is a game where you want them put away. If you get to a comfortable 3-score lead, I think you're still running your offense as efficiently as you did if it was a 1-score game. You're not trying to burn clock in the third quarter or anything like that. So that's kind of
this might be the best matchup we have, leading up to the Super Bowl in terms of like 2 extremely evenly matched teams. This is a prize fight, right?
Sure. I mean, it is kind of looking like it could trend towards being Bills Chiefs divisional round last year, where it was just like back and forth. Holy fuck, everybody losing their mind the entire time. Like I immediately fell asleep after that game, actually, because I was so tired. Just because the emotional roller coaster and the depression all at once hitting me.
Totally.
13 seconds left. I was feeling pretty good about an AFC Championship game against the Bengals last year. Pretty good.
I get that. Yeah.
Did not go my way. But so my final thought I'm going to end on is obviously go Bills, but the winner of this game will be who I'm cheering for the remainder of the way out, no matter which way it goes. So I'm just leaving it at that.
Yeah, same, man, same. Yeah, whoever wins this game is my team throughout the playoffs, and some things are bigger than the game, football, and I think the class that these two teams and these two communities showed. It really is, something I'm never going to forget. I think it was a really, really good moment for the sport of football in the NFL, for sure.
I agree. All right, Miles, I hope I don't see you next week. But in the event that I do, you're obviously welcome to come back on next week.
You got it, guys.
All right, brother.
Thanks, man.
See ya.
All right.
Hey.
Last man standing. Joe Ulo, good to see you.
What's up, man? Can you hear me okay?
Yep, can hear
okay.
Just fine.
Sounding great.
Yep, we can hear you. Sound good. Good to see you. I haven't talked to you in I don't know how many years. It's been a long time, but it's good to see your face. Good to hear your voice.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I moved to Texas 11 years ago, and I've actually been in San Antonio for a little over 4 now. So,
liking it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Houston was okay, but 3 major floods in 7 years, and factor in Texans fans.
So you lived in Houston. You lived in Houston when I went there. I went down to World Series Game 3 in 2017.
Ah, you piece of shit. Why didn't you
Yeah,
get
I didn't
hold of
know.
me?
If I would have known, yeah. Believe it or not, I didn't think I knew anybody who lived in Houston. So I was there 23 hours. I flew in. I drank as many. What the hell is that beer that I
Shiner.
love? Shiner Light Blonde. I had so many Shiner Light Blondes, and then I got back on a plane and left. It was wild. Crazy weekend because I actually flew back Saturday. It was a Friday night game. Flew back Saturday and went to the Bills game on Sunday.
Damn.
So I was like, yeah, it was nuts. But yeah, so go Astros anyways. But okay, so welcome to the show. Glad you could make it on.
Yeah.
And you kind of saw the gist of how this is going with the other groups. So Sketty home team. Are we punting?
Yeah. Well,
deferring?
First I'd like to welcome Joe to the show, and I'm sorry that we have to meet on these terms.
It's
you saw how these other fan rants went. You saw how these other fan rants went, and they were pretty nice.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that from me. So saying that, I'm gonna defer to you.
All right.
Because I want to see Dak throw the pick right off the back. I want to get just ruin your confidence right away. So you tell me.
Oh, here we go. All right. Well, first I want to start off with the Niners are a good team. All that BS being thrown around about their schedule and all that's bullshit. Because you might have had an easy schedule, but they put away and wrecked most of the good teams the way they should. Before I get to some of my points, the interception bullshit. 7 of those went off his receiver's hands. So it's a little more of a slanted stat than you're letting on here. But now back to with the Niners schedule, so the Niners have faced 2 teams with a positive point differential. KC plus 126, who they lost to, and the Seahawks plus 6. Cowboys are plus 125. Every other team they've went up against has had a negative point differential. One of the things I actually had to look up their depth chart to see who their other tight ends were other than Kittle, because he's not even going to get to go past the offensive line having to block against Parsons the whole game. So that at least takes out the tight end problem there. On the same note, though, I mean, Zeke has not been the same running back, and he's definitely going to be back there. When he's back there, they've got to know it's not a run. It's to keep Nick Bosa from wrecking the backfield too. So, fair points both ways. So Purdy, I don't know about Purdy yet. I'm not going to. What Parcells back when Romo first came out said, let's not get the anointing oil out first, because next year Trey Lance will be the quarterback. It's not like he's going to lose his job to him. But he's faced one of the lowest pressure rates in the NFL, while the Cowboys have been dealing out one of the highest. And they've done so even against vaunted offensive lines. Our pass rush is mean. We may not always necessarily get the sacks, but pressure rate a lot of times means a whole lot more than sacks do. Another thing I think is that being so raw, I got faith that Dan Quinn is going to show him some confusing defenses and get in there. And when we get to the back and forth point, there's some Dan Quinn, Kyle Shanahan stuff I'd like to go back and see what you feel about it there, Sketty. So yeah, and in the run game, they talked a lot of shit on Dallas's run defense, but we only allowed 6 rushing touchdowns all year and not a single receiving score to a running back. And the only times our defense against the run has been subpar is when we were missing Jonathan Hankins, who we picked up about halfway through from the Raiders, who just has to stand there because he's a human wall. And then this guy, Leighton Vander Esch, who is showed in the last game, has been sorely missed toward the end of the season. Sorry, I did. It's making me.
You're good.
It's making me burp.
What are you drinking?
It's actually a big mix of bourbon and ginger ale. And I
normally there you go.
I normally don't drink on work nights, but I figured it was par for the course. And even though they have a great defense, the 49ers are in the bottom half of the league in pass defense, and we do have a lot of pass weapons. I know, Debo said, we have shut in our defense in pass. Trevon Diggs has shut down every major receiver he's gone up against. Jamar Chase didn't do shit. Justin Jefferson didn't do shit. And even in the games where we had to deal with the Cooper Rush as our quarterback, the defense went out there and got it done. Just like average Eagles fan earlier, I was just like, oh God, it's like y'all almost had Cooper Rush come back on that game. Like, calm down with that shit. You want to talk about an overrated team? Let's not talk about the 49ers. But they've, so I really, the only thing is though, is that I think that they are probably going to have Diggs more on Ayuk. I feel like he's a bigger speed threat than Samuel. Samuel is a hybrid. I know he's listed on the depth chart as a wide receiver, but he's also a running back. I don't think that that's who he's their speed threat. That's who they're going to have him on. I don't know if we're going to have McQuamu after his emergence as being kind of a force in the last game. And I don't think it's going to be a blowout by either team. I feel like there's going to be 1 or 2 defensive scores by either side. And I think it'll be a close one. I'm not a we them boys guy. Don't worry.
Thank God.
I'm calling. Yeah, right. It drives me nuts too. And I live in Texas. I'm going to hand it over to this man. I'm going to say 28-24 boys.
Joe, it really upsets me that you're not a we them boys guy, because like that's what I've had my fan rant prepared for, is a we them boys guy. And like,
no.
I would feel bad going at you as viciously as I would have one of them guys. So we're gonna take this semi nicely, I guess. First off, and in all honesty, there's no position group on the field where I feel like the Cowboys have an advantage. If you look at Dak and Brock has a better completion percentage. Dak beat him in yards per game by 9. Brock's higher QBR, higher rating, more touchdowns per game, way less interceptions per game. I think that's at the very
way
least
less games played.
Well, no, that's per average. 12
I'm
to
just
6.
saying.
You got to average it out. Dak only played. Purdy played a third of the season. Dak played 2/3 of the season. What are you gonna do? You got to go by average. Go by what's there. That's what the numbers say. Running backs, Niners advantage. Receivers, Niners advantage. Tight end, Niners advantage. Line, probably Niners advantage. Better on defensive line, better linebackers, better secondary, better coach. Dallas had him at kicker until Mara missed whatever, four extra points last week. Yikes.
I was laughing by the third one.
I just really don't get, and I've seen Cowboys homers, the Michael Irvins, the Marcus Spears of the world, where they're like, even them, Tuesday, we're like, yeah, there's no guarantee the Cowboys win this game. And those guys are homers. Dallas is going to win every game by 1 million if you talk to them. They know what's about to happen here. This team, I think Dallas is worse than they were last year. I think the Niners are better than they were last year. And we went into your house and won with Jimmy Garoppolo with the bum shoulder. I mean, that would have been a 3-score game if Jimmy doesn't get hurt and miss Brandon Ayuk wide open streaking down the sideline. If he doesn't just little loft one right to, I don't even remember who the guy that intercepted him was on the far sideline, but he just threw it right dead nuts to him to set him up for an easy score. I just don't see it. And I'm sorry. Dallas does have a puncher's chance, because it's not like when I say the Niners are better, they're not leagues above Dallas's talent, but they're just better. Your only hope is to have Brock Purdy turn it over 2 or more times. The problem is I think Dak is going to turn it over at least 2 times, probably closer to 3. Tampa Bay had those guys rattled a little bit at the start of that game. What do you think is going to happen when you're not playing the Tampa Bay retirees? I think Bosa is going to wreck this game. And I don't know what you do. Like you said, you got to keep Zeke back there. Maybe put Schultz over there to kind of chip him a little bit. I hope you're right about George Kittle not passing line of scrimmage, because the one thing that could happen is putting Parsons over Mike McGlinchey. That's a recipe for disaster. If the Niners let that happen, there's going to be a big game from Parsons. I mean, the guy's terrible. He's not good. Trent Williams, on the other hand, good luck. You're not just running by him like you ran by what was the guy's name? Donovan Smith. I can't remember the tackle from the Bucks. Yeah, he doesn't deserve to have you remember his name, because he was god awful. I mean, that Bucks team.
Another Eric Flowers.
Yeah, oh God, just terrible. Yeah, just absolutely terrible. But no, I mean, I really think that there's a recipe where Dallas can keep this game close, but I just fully think the Niners are going to come in and just they're going to show them. They're just going to show them we are that team. And then next week, Brock Purdy's going to come to life. He's coming back to life next week, is my guess, when he's got to go on the road, more than likely against the Eagles.
I had to jot down a note because you had said about the better position group thing here. And it's like you said, wide receiver, though? Really? You think they have a better wide
Who do you
receiver
have?
group? CD Lamb, Michael
Debo
Gallup.
Samuel?
Like, we've got even T.Y. Hilton is
Debo
showing he can still ball. That's one.
Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. I don't know where Joe just went. Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, see you, Joe.
Ayuk's all right.
Ayuk's pretty. That's what I'm saying. I think Debo. He might not be the elite pass catching threat that CD Lamb is, but that's not what you're doing with them. Like you said, they don't. Debo's not a guy where you just
he's a Swiss Army
running
knife.
out route. You get him the ball in space and let him just do the work. It's just get him the ball. Yeah, I mean, I really, I just don't see an advantage there either way. I just think I like Debo and Ayuk personally. I love Michael Gallup, but for whatever reason, they don't seem to include him as much. It looked like he got a little more play last week.
Yeah, he had a good game.
I was high on Gallup. I said coming off that injury, I thought for sure he would kind of fill up. But you lose Amari Cooper from last year. That's a huge loss. You lose Randy Gregory, big loss.
Randy Gregory was not a big loss.
He had a pretty good year with Micah Parsons making him look good.
We kept Durant Armstrong, and he ended up having way better sacks or way better numbers too. Like, and Odigizua hasn't blown up in his second year as much as we thought. But I do have a question for you. Something I had jotted down earlier. What do you think may come into play with Dan Quinn and Shanahan having played together and possibly knowing a little bit about how each other works? Do you think that'll come into play at all?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Again, they played against each other last year. They're going to use, some of that's going to be used this year. But yeah, I mean, it's always a chess match with guys that know what the other one likes to do, and it's just who can execute better. And I guess I haven't said this yet, but I really think Brock Purdy is an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. I really firmly believe that he's at the very least, every bit of what Garoppolo gave you, Brock Purdy's going to give you. I mean, the guy's got one less playoff win than Dak right now, currently as it stands, and he's played one game. I just think, and I think that was huge for him not having to have a bye week last week, get Brock's feet a little bit wet. And I guess the other thing I'd like to ask you, I forgot to bring this up. How do you feel about Dallas playing on a short week, traveling twice? I mean, I think it's something like 9 and 24 teams that have to travel on 5 days of rest versus teams that have had 7 or more days of rest. I think that's going to be a big factor in this game as it wears on. If Dallas doesn't jump out and get a hold of this thing early, I think San Francisco is just such a physical team by that third, fourth quarter. I think they're really going to be feeling that short week.
I think the only person it's really going to affect will be Jaron Kearse because he's been a top safety out there this year, and he's playing hurt, and he's still playing hurt.
Is he going this week?
That's what I see. There was some Adam Schefter thing that said he wasn't, but then all the other reports that were like, "Shut the hell up!" No, he's playing. Like
it sounded like he was going to battle through it.
Yeah, he may be limited. I hope they're careful with him. Should Dallas come out with the win, like to save him a little bit. But I think he's really the only one that's would be affected by it. I listen to sometimes on my way home from work. I listen to Talking Cowboys, and Nate Newton today was talking about how you shouldn't drive with a shitload of weed in your van. Or no, he was talking about the whole like short week, and it's not that short a week. At least they gave us the benefit of not making them play on Saturday after having an unprecedented Monday night playoff game. So they did do the right thing there. And the traveling thing is not that big a deal. And like he said, it's like when it's time to ball, you got to ball. It's one extra day of rest isn't going to heal your broken leg or something like that. So unless you're somebody like Jaron Kearse who could use an extra day, they've been. He hasn't been practicing, probably just on the exercise bike. I don't know that it's that big of a factor. We'll see. Like I said, I think no matter who wins, I think it's going to be a close game and it's going to be interesting. We'll see how Purdy reacts. Like he's not a bad quarterback. I wouldn't. He just hasn't. I think this will be one of the best defenses he's faced.
Yeah. It's not one. This will be the best defense he's faced. There's no.
Well, Dan Quinn is not one
up about it.
I got to go back and listen to your guys' conversation because my leg cramped up and I almost fell out of my fucking chair.
He needed an extra day of rest.
Dude, that's why. I don't know if did you see me just dip real quick? I'm like, okay, I gotta go. Like,
He needs an extra day
still,
of rest.
It's still spasming right now. It's fucking crazy. I almost fell out of my chair. I chugged 2 glasses of water. I think I'm okay. You guys didn't kill each other or anything, so that's good.
No, it's been totally civil. It's been a lot of fun.
So
Yeah,
Sketty false advertising. He says low chocolate milk prices, and he says he's going to let Joe Yulo have it. Neither of which were true. The chocolate milk at Peppermill is outrageously priced, and he was very civil with you, Joe.
Oh, well, I told him I'm not one of them Weedham boys guys. Like, I like to
that
think we're
would've
going to be
changed
good
it.
every year. Like, I at work today made like a note sheet and stuff, so I made sure keep it like I can't memorize all this shit. Like, I even had something on here I didn't even bring up because I didn't want to go. It took too long to write out. It was like ELO metric. I don't know if you're familiar with ELO metric, but like. So they got a higher rating than they've faced in quite some time, 150 points higher than their last like 6 people. It's a decent metric. I looked into it a little bit myself, but
I don't even know what is an LO metric.
The ELO metric. There's a lot of it's like trying to explain QB rating. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
One of the QB ratings. There's that one is the scale of 1 to 100, and the other one's 153.8 or something like that. Kelvin, it's QB Kelvin, and then well, what I was about to say before Crampy joined in was Dan Quinn, maybe not the head coach you want when you're up 28-3 at halftime in the Super Bowl, but he's a damn good defensive coordinator. So I'll be curious to see what kind of shit he throws at your boy there, and we'll see. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. I think it's going to be close. I said in the chat, Bills, Bengals, and Dallas San Fran will easily be the 2 best games this weekend.
I think so too. To your point, Dan Quinn against the Bucs this week. They say that I think it's Dallas has they almost exclusively play cover 1, and this week against the Bucs, it was all cover 2.
Yeah.
So he mixed it up, and honestly. In honesty, the Cowboys have to do that, I think, against the Niners. I don't think you can just go in and play with what you've been doing all year.
No.
Another one, Niners struggle against mobile quarterbacks. So if you're Kellen Moore, you better be hoping that you're running some sort of designed runs, bootlegs, read options, something to keep them honest, because I just don't think you're going to you can't just have them rush 4 and say, oh, we're going to try and block and hope that Dak picks his defense apart. I think you got to use your legs and keep them honest there.
I just want to I want to see another Bosa get ejected this weekend.
God. It'll probably happen family. On a form tackle, Joe.
Dirtbag family.
He'll form tackle Dak perfectly, and they're going to be like, well, it looked like he hit him pretty fucking hard, man. We got to throw the flag.
It'll be a form tackle 3 minutes after he passes the football. That's his problem. Geez. He's a late hitting, dirty son of a bitch, and I hope he gets ejected.
Joe, I'm a Michigan fan, so fuck the Boses.
I mess with Sketty all the time, and like last week, the Bills game, Tremaine Edmonds just absolutely crushed. Who was it? Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, and the ball prevented it from being a helmet-on-helmet hit. That's the only thing that stopped it. Ball was in the way.
And so Sketty starts texting me, "Oh, dirtbag player," and I just wrote back, "Tremaine Bosa."
I was paying a lot of attention to the playoff games because I was like, I make my own beer and I was doing a batch in the garage and I brought the TV out there because I was doing 2 batches, which takes like almost 8 hours. And I finally figured out how to tell them apart. Is that Chargers Bosa's got a fucking honker like a toucan, dude. Like he makes Brad Marchand look like Michael Jackson. Like, like I don't know how he puts his helmet on. Like he looks like Adrian Brody.
It's easy to tell them apart, Joe. Nick's the good one.
He is. I will admit that.
The guy getting all this.
That.
Nick's the good one.
I will admit that. I know Joey Bosa has made like a Pro Bowl or so, but Nick Bosa is definitely better than 2. Yeah, he's definitely better than 2.
Guy's a pure stud. For a dirtbag.
For a dirtbag, he's not bad.
He's a pure stud.
All right.
If Micah Parsons would quit tweeting about how he didn't make Pro Bowl or All Pro and how he's going to beat the Niners, he'd probably be almost as good as Nick Bosa. A little less time tweeting, a little more time in the gym, he'd be right there.
So if you'll allow me my one attack, I just want you to know that I hope you take some of that salt you have on Monday and put it on some of that peppermill food.
If the Cowboys win, I promise you. Well, if the Cowboys win, I'm just joining Cliff Kingsbury in Thailand. One-way ticket, buddy. I'm out of the country for a while because I've been bagging on the Cowboys since like
he's a genius.
week 5. I can't. I
Everybody
can't. Yeah,
has.
I can't show my face. I gotta hide. I need this win, Joe. I need this win.
So do I. Shit. It was 14 the last time they made the NFC Championship game. Shit. I didn't think they would have made it this far after losing our starter for 5 games in which our backup went 4-1 over that period. Like,
hell of a player.
Because of the defense, but he still got it done through no interceptions until the Eagles game, which they still only lost by a score and a half. It was like 17-26 or something like that, or something stupid. But
at least you're not on your third string guy, Joe. That's when things get real interesting.
If Dallas does win, we need you back next week.
I'll be here for sure. I'll be rooting for the Giants on Saturday.
What'll be funny is if you're back next week, that means you get to do a fan rant right in front of Sketty after beating the Niners. So that's gonna be hilarious.
Well, hopefully I'll be doing a fan rant. Go ahead.
You might have to co-host the show, Joe. I might be sick next week.
They got internet in Thailand.
I just hope I'm doing a fan rant against the Giants fan, because then it means that the NFC Championship game will be in Dallas.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Thanks for jumping on with us.
Cheers,
Appreciate
boys.
you. And
I'll
talk
good
to you
game
soon.
Sunday, buddy.
Yep.
All right.
See ya.
Maybe we'll see you next week. Probably not.
Later.
All right. Fan rant complete. So next week, 2 games.
I don't like that I'm on the other side.
It is weird. Can I move it?
I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it. Hey, there we go.
Oh, you can do that. Nope. It went back.
Yeah, what the heck?
I don't know.
Man.
Maybe I'm doing it too many times.
Yeah, you are. It's good.
That was weird, but I had to go. Like, I literally...
It
hit me. I muted my mic. I didn't even take my camera down. I jumped
saw
out of
you
camera
stand
view 'cause
up.
I was in fucking pain, dude. It hurt so bad. I don't even know why it happened. Like, I've been drinking water all day.
I literally thought something bad happened because you
just getting old.
Muted the mic and stood up. I'm like, is he getting called into work? Am I gonna have to shut this thing down right now?
No, I about fell on the floor, like right over here though, and then just like stuck my face under the fridge and was just water because I don't know where that came from. That's a first. That's never happened before in mid-show. I'm glad it happened when it did though, because you had somebody to talk to. It would have been real awkward.
Exactly.
Sitting there looking fucking stupid.
Yeah. I don't know where Joe went.
Yep. He's
out.
All right. Wrap it up. Thank you everybody who came on and represented their team on the fan rant. Appreciate all of you. Thank you for everybody who listened, jumped in the comments. Don't forget to give our live show here a like, a love, or an angry face if you think Sketty's ugly. We appreciate the angry emoji reaction. It tells us who Sketty's least favorite people are, or people who think Sketty's their least favorite person, whichever. So thank you all. I want to thank the sponsors: Swing Juice, Bush Light, Napoli's Pizza, Your Daily Local, JP Photography, Mean Sales and Service, Jones Pest Control, the Me, Myself, and Rye podcast, Blue Line Auto, and Complete Roofing Systems. Thank you all for financially supporting us and keeping this thing afloat. So only 4 episodes to go now until we take our season 2 break, end of season 2 break.
One-way ticket to Thailand for both of us.
Might be. I'd be all right with that.
Show's just canceled next week if the Bills and the Niners both lose.
If the Bills and Niners lose,
this might be our last episode. This might be our last episode, folks.
We'll be begging the cancel culture to come after us. We'll just start giving them reasons. It's got to be something we can say. Oh, speaking of, hold on.
Just share police videos.
Speaking of
police videos will be canceled.
That's true. That would get us canceled. There is one thing I wanted to bring up that I meant to put in the things that sting and I forgot. So if this almost got Stephen A. Smith canceled, even though I don't think you can cancel him, because he actually once said that Shohei Ohtani can't be the face of baseball because he doesn't speak English. If that doesn't get you canceled, then nothing will.
Yeah.
So what I want to say is that Stephen A. Smith just had to apologize to a bunch of people on Twitter because he said that Rihanna is no Beyonce. and Rihanna fans went bananas after him.
I
want
mean-
to say both Rihanna and Beyonce are trash, and bring back Mary J. Blige. And come get me, Rihanna fans. If you can cancel us and our 1,200 followers on Facebook, fucking go for it. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. So, all right, that's it. You got anything?
No, I'm good.
All right, we're out of here until next week. Take care. Be safe.